Guys, Cavs Media Day is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Time to fuel up and turn it up with 5 Hour Energy Transfusion. This grape, ginger, and lime flavored shot brings the iconic taste of a golf course favorite to a non-alcoholic boost. Perfect for sinking birdies and making great memories with friends. It's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Whether you're out on the course or you just need a little extra push to get through your day, 5 Hour Energy Transfusion delivers the clubhouse favorites you love without ever leaving the green. And golf is all about good times and good people, especially good flavors. The grape, ginger, and lime flavor of 5 Hour Energy Transfusion gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without ever leaving the course or chasing down the bev cart. Now you can amp up the fun even more. Just buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for two to any golf tournament in the USA. Tee up that trip. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. It excludes the Masters tournament, and it ends October 31st, 2025.
All right, let's send it to the Rocket Arena. I keep forgetting what it's called. They've changed the name 80,000 times already. Mikey McNuggets is there. Earl the Pearl is there. Look at these guys.
This is a very
What's up, Bull?
What up? Show we got here. Look at this thing.
Look at that. Look at this setup.
Yeah, everything's going well, guys. We're at Media Day here at Rocket Arena. Donovan Mitchell is going to join us here in the next 15-ish minutes, 20 minutes. He's doing 2 more radio interviews before he gets to us, so he may be on the show today or maybe it'll be a YouTube exclusive. Right now I'm joined by Earl the Pearl. Jason Lloyd's going to join us in a second. Earl, we've had an eventful Media Day. We've sat down one-on-one with Kenny Atkinson. We've sat down one-on-one with Kobe Altman. We've got Tyrese Proctor one-on-one. We're about to get Donovan Mitchell for an exclusive interview, and while I was doing that, you were over at the podiums talking to the players, getting sound from them. What was your main takeaway from what some of these Cavs players said coming off last season's playoff failure, getting ready for what should be another highly successful 2025-2026
well, first
season?
Things first, shout out to Spider. He talked about his offseason and just spending a lot of time with his fiance, traveling with her on tour, and he said it kind of felt like the season never ended. He got to get essentially a new experience of what it's like to see a musician on tour. But I think my biggest takeaway was these players got the opportunity to spend more time with Kenny Atkinson this offseason, and they benefited from it, whether it be from a conditioning standpoint, just a relationship building standpoint, and then for Kenny just to be able to, spend that time with each player individually and see how he can get to know that person and how this person can fit into what it is the Cleveland Cavaliers are trying to do overall. To me, it seems like a group that is not really too pressed or worried about what happened last year. It sounds like they've turned the page. They have a renewed sense of energy, and they're focused on, doing what they can do this year. Donovan said it best. Last year's last year. We just move forward. We move on. He talked about coming up short and just the lessons they learned from that. And they learn about themselves as a team, as a group, and as individuals. He talked about the character of this team and what he learned about, the people that he played with. And so I just gather a group that's turned the page, that's ready to go, that had the opportunity to spend more time with their head coach, and every single player got the benefit from that. One word I heard the most was conditioning, how they have new drills and new training regimens when it comes to keeping themselves conditioned. So.
Yeah, they need that. Obviously, what happened against Indiana, especially later in that series after some guys got hurt, the guys who were playing just simply weren't up to the task to carry that load for 48 minutes a night. And when I was talking to Kenny Atkinson, who, by the way, Kenny's like 4 feet that way to us. We can't turn the camera, but Kenny's literally right there.
He's sitting right next to me.
Yeah. He talked about a renewed energy and how this offseason he was actually part of the Cavs planning process. He came in late. Remember the head coaching search last year took a while. He was working with Coach Team France in the Olympic basketball process. So he didn't get a chance to kind of put his full impact on the team early. And that you could turn anything you want. You could put a spin zone on anything, right?
Right.
They still won 64 games without a full offseason implementing Kenny's offense and defensive system. Now it's a full year with that knowledge under their belt. They're starting off with some injuries. Darius and Maximus at the beginning of the season, but he seems super high on Jalen Tyson, on Sam Merrill, who he swears is a better defender than we give him credit for. So hopefully Sam can prove us wrong and him right later. But there's an energy in the air about this team, Earl, because I do think, to your point, they know last year did not end in an acceptable fashion.
Right.
And the expectations are very evident and written on the walls here saying, we have to get to level X or else. And when that is put in front of you, it's hard to shy away from it.
And Donovan spoke to that as well, and how you won't see too much of a difference. That he was asked, like, what is the one thing that you worked on in your game to kind of improve from last year to this year? And he said, me, Ev, DG, et cetera, like, yeah, we worked on some things, but you all should be really, really excited about the guys like Proctor, about the guys like Lonzo Ball, about the guys like Jalen Tyson, who actually spent that time with Kenny and what they're going to show to the world this year. And he spoke like a man that we got some guys that's going to be key guys that are better than what people expect or than what people know. And he can't wait for the world to see these young people, put on display the work that they put in this offseason.
They're going to need it. I mean, they need contributions. They lost some guys from last year's bench. They're counting on guys like Sam Merrill, on Lonzo Ball, on Larry Nance Jr., who, being honest, they've had some of their health issues. They're struggle staying healthy at times in their career. So they're going to need top to bottom guys to actually be on the court, and when they are on the court, provide valuable minutes.
Yeah, it's funny. Lonzo Ball, man, he's enjoying Cleveland. He talked about he liked the city of Cleveland. I came and told you in private. I'm pretty sure y'all seen it on our YouTube page by now. He didn't know Cleveland had water.
These dudes don't look at maps. These dudes don't look at maps. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. So, hey Zach, go find Jason Lloyd. It's Jason's time to shine. Right here comes Jason. So we're gonna get Jason in here in a sec. Earl, any final thoughts here from Media Day as we let you go? By the way, the reason we're letting Earl go a little early is so we can corral Donovan when he's finished with his next interview and make sure Donovan sits down.
Yeah, I had to talk to my guy, man. Make sure he got over here and talk to us. Well, I think my final takeaway or my final thought from any of this is, like I said, this is we already knew that this was a close-knit group. And what I gather from this is the adversity that they experienced last year made them closer. I think that they found out things about themselves that is only going to make this a better basketball team going forward. It seems like everybody has been here since late August, early September, putting in work, spending time together, playing pickup basketball before training camp even started. And so that tells me that everybody is already locked in. Everybody is already focusing on the overall goal, which is to bring another NBA championship to the city of Cleveland, ironically, which is the 10th season anniversary since our last championship. So.
Awesome. Earl the Pearl, we appreciate your insights. Earl, we're going to bring in Jason Lloyd now. Jason, of The Athletic, also the co-host of the Ultimate Cavs Show. We are going to bring Jason in here. As he sits down, Donovan has moved over one table from us, so we are going to keep kind of riffing here till Donovan's ready. We might get Donovan live on the show. If not, we'll record. But Jason, how you doing today, man?
Lovely. How are you?
Good. How was your 93rd Cavs Media Day experience?
They're all the same, man. It's a car wash. They all run together. I don't know. This team just feels markedly different because what they've accomplished in the regular season, what they still have to accomplish in the postseason. Like we've got to the point where the regular season doesn't matter as much with this team. It's all about what they do in the postseason. They know that, and we know that. So it just feels like a really long appetizer course until we get to the main entree in April.
Well, as Earl just said, and as I kind of heard from talking to Kobe, Kenny, and Tyrese, there are different facets of this team that are worth kind of looking at as we get ready for the upcoming season. And one of those is the depth. They lost Ty Jerome. They have some questions with figuring out exactly where some of that bench scoring is going to come from, especially if DeAndre starts the season in the starting lineup with Max Strus hurt. So, Jason, where do you think some of that bench scoring may come from if it isn't DeAndre Hunter because he's been inserted to the starting lineup?
I mean, I think Jalen Tyson's going to be asked to do a lot on this team. Maybe he does find himself in a starting role at various points. Oh, Darius just talked on the podium about he's back on the court, moving around, and there's nothing he can't do.
Real quick, I didn't see Darius. Did he look bigger? I know Kobe and Kenny said last week. I did notice he was wearing a T-shirt and shooting sleeves to kind of cover it up.
Yeah, he definitely needed to put on a little bit of weight. So I think it is a good thing. I don't know. I don't think he's ever going to come out and look like he belongs on the magazine of a bodybuilding magazine. But, yeah, like it's been the thing on him for a few years now is he's got to get just a little bit bigger and add a little bit more muscle. And it sounds like he's doing great in terms of his rehab. And he said he's got a date in mind. He's not going to say what it is. He was asked if he's going to miss time during the regular season. He said he's not sure yet, but he's back on the court. And he said he's not limited in any way right now. And so that's obviously a good sign. I don't know that they necessarily need him opening night. I think it's fine if he does miss some time and they're able to experiment with some different lineups and try some different things out. But, listen, Sam got paid. And good on him for doing so and sort of being that guy who grinded his way for a number of years. And now to which much is given, much is expected. So he's going to be expected to have a larger role on this team. And we mentioned Proctor. I don't know if he'll play right away early, but certainly there's going to be opportunities you would think on this team. And like I said, Jalen, I think Jalen can carve out a nice role for himself on this team.
One of the things I talked to both Kenny and Kobe about was this new CLA process of training, which there was a whole an article in the Athletic, talking about how the Cavs have kind of dove in and fully embraced, not just sprinkled a little CLA into their player development. They have fully embraced it. Yeah. And guys like Tyrese Proctor, Naquan Tomlin, Luke Travers, I'm curious to see how they get distributed between the G League and the NBA team, because part of the CLA thing is you need those reps. The reps are the most important part, and not just any reps, game reps where you're making these decisions. So for a guy like Proctor, for example, what benefits his development more? Playing 600 G League minutes and being the primary facilitator and decision maker with the Charge, or being a guy who's with the Cavs, getting in sparingly because they already have a NBA caliber roster and backup point guard, and those decision making reps are few and further between. I'm not sure what the right answer is. I'm not sure there's a wrong answer either.
I think you can make a case that the minutes with the Cavs are more important, but he's going to need the G League reps too, if that makes sense, because you can't just rely on sparing garbage time minutes or a little bit here and there. So certainly he's a guy I would think it's going to spend a fair amount of time in the G League. But yeah, the whole CLA thing, you're going to start hearing about it more and more and more. It is fascinating. Alex Sarama, the Cavs assistant, is sort of the godfather to the whole thing. I just found out about it over the summer. It's the first time that I started hearing about it and started to dig on it and learn a little bit more. And we'll see if this becomes the new trend across the NBA. There's other players and other teams, the Grizzlies, Wembanyama. There's other players and teams that are sort of adopting this. And like, listen, all of these teams are looking for any little edge they can find on the margins, and this is the latest sort of trend.
We're going to stay because Donovan's coming over to us in a second. But, Jason, if you were in my seat and had a chance to ask Donovan one question, what would you ask him? Because I will ask him your question.
I would ask him, you know what I would ask him? Last year when we saw him at the end of the season, he kept saying, like, you guys are going to write so much crap. I know you guys are going to write so much crap about us. So what was the most outlandish or outrageous thing that he saw that was written or said about them after last season ended?
Okay, that is a good question. I will certainly ask.
That's what I would ask him.
Hey, Earl, do you get the sense that Donovan's about to wrap, or should we keep going here? All right, well, hey, we're gonna toss back to the studio. If we get Don, I will text Ant. We'll try to get back in live. But Ant, if you want to start reading some super chats, we will wait till we get Donovan Mitchell and try to cut in here for a live interview with Donovan. That's gonna wrap it up from Cavs Media Day. Earl the Pearl, Jason Lloyd, I'm Mikey McNuggets. We may see you again in a few seconds with a live interview with Donovan Mitchell. But until then, we appreciate you watching. And Ant, good luck with all the super chats today.